Hello everybody, this is Gareth Cahoon Speaks back here with another video. Again, I just want to remind you that you can look me up on my website called Gareth Cahoon Speaks, where I share a lot of Christian content, videos, quizzes, films. There's a multitude of things on it. If you just want to have a wee look, you feel free. It's called Gareth Cahoon Speaks or www.garethcahoon.co.uk. Could I also remind you that if you like these posts, press a tick and a like for me, please, and also notifications so you won't miss any of my videos. This post is about the true evils of the World Economic Forum. Klaus Schwab and his Davos death cult buddies openly discussed their plans for world domination. I always think, are we really going to let another power-hungry German walk us into global conflagration? For a while there, I believe the Western Allies had endangered enough death and slaughter from the first two world wars to forge an informal understanding among themselves that uncontrolled German megalomania invariably leads to malignant outcomes for all. Then came the German reunification and the nation's inevitable economic dominance over all of Europe assured its status as the most powerful member of the European Union. All the effort to constrain the German Empire's influence went up in smoke. It turns out that it is far easier to conquer the European continent with flowery promises of peace, economic integration, and international cooperation than it is to send jackbooted shock troops marching past the Arc de Triomphe and down the Champs-Elysees. Still, the Americans, Canadians, and Brits would never sit idly by while German power brokers remake the world in their image. Just listen to Joe Biden, Justin Trudeau, Boris Johnson, all parroting the same Build Back Better boobery in unison, as if they're operated under the influence of some nefarious hive mind. At first, hearing world leaders squawk identical World Economic Forum talking points was disconcerting. Then you have Prince Charles, who's also getting involved with the World Economic Forum. Then it is nauseating. Now it makes them sound like walking, talking robots, all under the WEF's control. It is possible that of state-of-the-art German-made Great Reset implants curse you German engineering. That's where we are today, as the world's 1% of the 1% celebrate their own magnificence in Davos, plot mankind's future without even the pretense of seeking mankind's consultation, let alone permission. The future is not just happening. The future is built by us, by a powerful community such as you here in this room, he said. Good German, Klaus and his merry band of global gentry have decided to take over the planet, and they're so confident in their endeavours that they no longer deign to pretend otherwise. So now the world waits in trepidation to discover just what Klaus and his new nobility have in store for the rest of us? Will another paralysing round of viral pandemics bring a return of economic lockdowns, rigid population control, and injection mandates? Will a global cyber attack cut off the internet for billions and plunge the world into darkness? With Green New Deal socialism, exacerbate global poverty, unleash famine, and trigger mass population die-offs? Whatever happens next, the WEF has already gammed the situation and is ready to profit from the word pain. In another area, the World Economic Forum attendees would be rounded up and put on trial for undermining the health and security of sovereign nations. Heck, if people properly understood the WEF and the evil engine for driving Marxist totalitarianism around the planet, they might skip the trials and go straight to the sentencing when so many of today's leaders have already handed over their nation states' keys to the aspiring dictators in Davos. However, ordinary people around the world have a real problem. Klaus did not hide his master plan to destroy national self-determination. It is simply a two-step process. First, you capture political economic leadership by bringing them into the WEF club. Then, by hook or by crook, you train these global leaders to collaborate for the benefit of the World Economic Forum members rather than the national populations they ostensibly represent. In my reckoning, this makes every WEF attendee committed to undermining national interests for those of Klaus Schwab's forthright. A double agent and saboteur, no one can coalition of the wicked cannot be trusted to serve their homelands too. There's an important lesson for those who properly object to a bunch of unelected oligarchs manipulating world events for their own purposes. When the wealthy and powerful sing the praises of the international cooperation, they are almost always sticking it to the ordinary people. Rigorous competition, not cooperation, is the key to keeping power in check and providing ample opportunity for all. Since World War II, the West has been brainwashed into accepting the opposite falsehood that competition leads to tragedy and that only forced cooperation can foster long-term peace. Nationalism is equated with racism. Patriotism is derided as another civic opiate for the masses. Free markets were long ago buried with Byzantine domestic regulations and international trade agreements that protect multinational monopolies at the expense of aspiring startup lacking the resources to overtake companies that with heavy political clout. Just as American workers can't compete against Chinese slave labour, and oppressively regulated American factories can't compete against scarcely regulated foreign enterprises, American voters can't compete against scarcely regulated foreign enterprise for Americans, but rather for the interests of foreign governments, multinational corporate boards, international financial heavyweights, and Western military alliances. As Biden hands the Chinese aligned World Health Organization power over American health and delivers to the United Nations control over Americans' future use of hydrocarbon energy, an even smaller group of global elites assume greater control over everyone else as they do. They glorify their efforts as a victory for a rule-based international order. In reality, a rule-based international order is antithetical to American liberty, will independence. It undermines the power and self-determination of ordinary Americans and empowers the technocratic assembly of self-identified experts